In the previous video, we added a method that retrieves the product list from the database and used Thymeleaf syntax to iterate through the product list in order to display these records. In a normal application, there is a feature that would allow a user to save a record into the application. Additionally, another feature is added to update this record when required. And finally, a delete feature is added to remove this record when no longer required. These features are collectively abbreviated to CRUD. To save a record into the application, I will implement a save feature. If you remember, the save method is one of the methods we have access to by extending the JPA repository as shown here. To begin, go to the controller and create a handler method. I have called it show save form as shown here. This method will route user requests to a form that would accept input of data to create a new product. Add an annotation to the top of the show save form as shown here. This is a representation of the URL of the handler method, and this is shown here. Since this method will load an input page, which is represented as save-product-form, we need to create the page itself for the input of data, and this is shown here as well. This is the page, the template that would be the input page for the new the data for the new product. As you can see, we are using Thymeleaf syntax here for the form instead of Spring form tags. Ensure that you have this action syntax here, and if you look closely, you would see that the URL is going to lead to the second method, which will effectively save the input data into the database. So this is the URL of the second method that we are about to create very soon. And of course, the other syntax in the form tag relates to object, which is the product list, and the method of posting the data is post. A second handler method is needed to save the input data from the form into the database. The other method we created earlier was basically to manage or render the input page for the input of data for the new record. So this second handler method actually does the work of saving the input data into the database. Now we call this one save product. and mind the annotation at the top. We're using a post mapping here. A post mapping is used to input data into the database as opposed to retrieving data from the database. And inside the post annotation, we've put the save, which is the URL for this second handler method. And if you look closely, we have the model attribute of a product, and this is the variable, that is binded to the input data. Input page. And inside the method, we've used a variable of product service on the add product method using the variable as an argument. And once the new record has been saved, we are redirected to the main page where all the list of records are displayed. When the application is run, you see the main page displaying some default data that we've added earlier. And because we have implemented a save feature, we can add a new product as shown. You click on the add new product button and you enter the details of the new product. You enter into each field details of the new product and click on submit, and we are redirected back to the main page where all the products are listed. As you can see, the new product that we've just added is shown here. Now we're going to implement an edit feature for this application. I have created a show edit product page method here. What this handler method does is to open the product in edit view. The edit product form page will reuse the save product method to save the updated data. The get mapping, as you can see here, maps this handler method to a URL. In it, you have an ID. This is a required variable to retrieve the product to be updated. The model view there is an interface to pass values to the view. To use it, the Spring Web dependency is required in the pom.xml file. The path variable, which is this one here, is used to handle template ID here, ID variable in the request URL mapping. And then it is able to use it as method parameter. We have created the edit handler method, but we need a page that will work with the edit handler method to open the product in edit view. To this end, I've created edit-product-form.html. And if you look in the form tag and look at the Thymeleaf action syntax, you will see that we've included a save URL, which leads to the save method, save handler method in the controller. Now, this save handler method was used to save a new product. So we're going to use it again. So it's a form of code reuse. So we're going to use it to save an updated product here. Now, in addition, we need to create a button that when clicked, it will open the product in edit view. So on the main page where all the products are listed, we need to create an edit button on that page. And in order to do that, you go to the Thymeleaf syntax, where you have the each iteration, and make sure you put a data tag. Between a data tag, make sure you put a link to the edit method in the controller. So this is the link to the edit method in the controller. So when you click on the button here, it will open this page, the edit page, and the product will be shown in edit view to be amended. When the application is restarted and all the products are displayed, you can actually edit a record. You can actually update a record in it. Updated and save. And you can see it's been updated. As soon as you update a record, you are redirected to the main page where the record is displayed with the other records on the main page. So that's it for the edit feature. When a product or a record is no longer needed anymore, it has to be deleted, but we have not implemented a delete feature. To do this, we head back to the controller and implement a handler method, delete method as shown here. In a lot of ways, the delete method is very similar to the edit method. As you can see, it has the ID as a required variable to retrieve the product that needs to be deleted. And once it's been deleted, we are redirected to the home page as shown here. And as you can see, the product service variable is used on the delete product method, which was implemented in the service layer. So we have the the handler method for delete for the delete for the delete for the delete feature here, and we can test that out in a minute. When you are on the list page and you want to delete a record, you need a way to start the deletion process. And to do this, we need to add a delete button to the list page. And this is an example of a link. So we put a link using the familiar Thymeleaf syntax. We put a link within the data tag so that when the page is loaded, the list page is loaded, each of the records on the page would have a delete button created for it. So this is how you include a reference to the handler method in the controller. So this is a reference, a URL to the handler method in the controller using a Thymeleaf syntax. On the list page, you can see each of the records have a delete button next to it. To test the delete feature we added earlier, we can go ahead now and just delete one of the records. So I'm going to delete the first one, which is the face mask updated. So I'm deleting it. So as you can see, that record has been removed and we've been redirected back to the list page as before. Thanks for watching this presentation. Please subscribe to this channel. Thank you.